Hey guys, so for this video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing Taylor Swift's studio album, Lover. I know it's been a month or so since this has been released, and trust me, I did get this the day that it was released, so I wanted to support her during her debut for this album, and I'm obviously very happy that it's doing really well, and just ecstatic that she was able to release music that she owns um, without having any of that issues with a record label. And just the overall this era has been pretty cool in my opinion, but I'll get into that much later. So I will just kind of review this packaging for those who kind of want to read more of what the text that she has in here. um, just pause the video. I just don't want to make it extremely long. um, and yes, so for those who live in the US, if you don't know, obviously, if you are a Taylor Swift fan, obviously you know that she has this edition in Target if you live in the States. Abroad, I know in Europe it's pretty much sold everywhere for the most part. At least this version, but it's just not called the Target edition. And she does have a few other editions, but this is the deluxe version 3. So before I do get started on kind of getting into showing what this looks like inside, the reason why I don't have version 1, 2, and 4 is because one, I obviously have to save money. I can't just buy all 4 versions. And also she did this thing with her Reputation album couple years back. She had 2 magazines versions. I bought both of those albums, but she then decided to make a world release, a special tour edition box, VIP box for Reputation, and I did get that box eventually. And she has a photo book that compiles both of those magazines together into one, and she is doing a tour, quote unquote tour, with the Lover album, with Loverfest next year. But I don't know if she will release a kind of special box or something that will compile all these 4 versions, and I just preferred having one version of something that has everything together. Especially with this concept that she has diary entries. I think it would look a lot nicer just to have it all in one. But regardless of that, I wanted to get the album anyways. So I randomly just picked one when I was getting it, and I just picked the version 3. And yes, still very happy with my choice. And then for those who don't have really access to seeing this album in person, at least getting it at the store, and are trying to like figure out how big it is and whatnot, compared to a jewel case, this is how big the album is. So for those who are curious, that's how big it is. So here is the front. I'm pretty sure the covers are almost exactly the same for any of the versions. Here's the track list, the spine with the number 3. So when you put them together, it's like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And yes, my only issue with this packaging, I love the fact that she didn't do the basic just jewel case, but she does have a jewel case version. Is the fact that the corners can get dents pretty easily. As you can see, mine has just a month old and it's practically a little bit dented, but that's my only complaint with this. I do love the whole concept. So let's get started. So we got a photo of Taylor, and then kind of a letter from her. So for those who want to read, pause. And I got to read a lot of the entries in here, and just I love this whole era. And she just kind of is a reminiscence of um her career. You know, it's been 13 years since she released her album, so this is very special. And if you know Taylor, she loves the number 13. And here are the diary entries. You get to see the dates and how old she was when she wrote them, and they're just really sweet, and you can really tell her personality from this. Um, and I would read all of these, but it would take forever. I'm a very slow reader, so um, but I love this just idea of her letting people into her like her fans into her life by just reading her diary entries. That's the 1989 cover. And so this is my just another complaint for me, I guess. This is like a journal that you can write on. I don't like writing on albums. And I love how she thought, like, well, this idea. I'm just not the biggest fan of this. I don't think I'll ever write in any of them if she doesn't end up doing like a box where she compiles all the versions. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't want to write on it. I feel like if I do start to use it as an actual journal, this whole thing will get really, really dirty and just, yeah. I just don't plan on using it for that. And you do get a mini poster, and I think this mini poster, it's absolutely beautiful. Like, and again, I am not one to put posters in my room anymore, but I don't mind it. But just the whole journal thing, writing on this, it's just not my favorite thing in the world. But if she were to come out with another version, like where she just had like a separate thing without her CD in here, then absolutely maybe I will use it. Here we get the lyrics for the songs. I just wish she had more pictures in here, but that's fine. Yep. And then here is the disc. Very pretty. I'll just put this here. So, all right. So, my thoughts on this album. I think she did a solid job with Lover. It's not my favorite Taylor Swift release. I might do kind of like an updated ranking of all of her studio albums, but it is up there though. I did enjoy this album from beginning to end. I think she's one of the few artists that really puts in a lot of work into putting a solid studio album that has just solid tracks, and it's just an overall great album. I don't think she ever just puts a song because she wants to fill it up with another song. I think she does make a lot of wise decisions of why she picks certain songs and all of that. So that's one thing that I've always noticed, at least from her music. I don't particularly think she has skips in her albums. There's some songs I particularly don't listen to as much or don't pay attention to as much, but I feel like there are reasons why they're there. They're not just like filler tracks. So that's one thing I love about her. But this album does feel like a day version of Reputation, just more colorful, and a little bit more, uh, uh, I guess, more sincere. I think when I did a review of Reputation, when I unboxed it, um, or whenever I did the review for it, I talked about how it was similar to 1989. And this does keep up with like that sound that she kind of developed, that it's like, it's her song instantly, which is good. And there are some tracks that are more experimental here, don't get me wrong, but this some of the tracks here do feel like they were either part of Reputation, or a continuation to Reputation, but just more, rainbow version of that. Um, and Reputation is, if not, I'll have to like re-listen to all the albums again, my favorite album from her. Um, and so that's why I do like this one a lot as well. But it does feel like an album that you'd play more during the daytime, and I think she mentioned this on interviews, and I can totally see it. And obviously the um photo shoots and all the promo that she has done for this album, it's more just lighthearted and more rainbows and everything. Like I even got her special limited edition single for Me, which I just love this whole era for her. I think it's just, I don't know, just it's very uplifting. And like whenever I try to think of this era, I just, it puts a smile on my face. So you can definitely feel and see and hear that she's a lot happier and she's in a better place now. So, you know, good for her. Like I'm super happy. So I'll go track by track, just kind of say my opinions in each song. Um, and now that I got to listen to it more thoroughly, because when I did my review of Reputation, I think I didn't necessarily listen to this album uh, as much as I could to really say which songs I do like and don't like. Because now I think I have a completely just different opinion. I love it more than I did when I listened to it initially. So now that it's been a month since this release, I can just say so far how which songs in my opinion of each of them. So you get introduced to the album with I Forgot That You Existed. uh Interesting song to kind of start it out, but it's just a great way to kind of just start the album, of letting things go, from just the Reputation era. Obviously, some people think or have assumptions of what the song, of who the song's about, and everyone has their own interpretation for it. But I just thought it was a great song, and I think that everyone can relate to it as well. It's a very relatable song, um, but not one of my favorites. I do think it's a great song though. Number two, Cruel Summer. I think that this one's more of the radio friendly song for her. It's one of my favorites within Lover. I think that she needs to release it as a single just to kind of spice things up a bit. I feel like the singles and the promo singles that she's been um, promoting, um, just don't give the album justice in a way. Or not even that. I just feel like she just needs to promote the song just to kind of give it more of an edge for just the the general public, because it is a really catchy tune. I just absolutely love this song. It seems like it's connected to Getaway Car, like this just the whole sound of it. Um but it is one of the standout tracks, at least for me, and I think for a bunch of people. It's one of the most streamed and songs that she put out that she hasn't promoted. Number three is Lover. This one's a great song. I think this just goes back to the roots that she started with. She does mention it's her favorite song in the album, and I can definitely see why. It's a really just honest and pure love song, and I adore this song. I just think it makes you want to fall in love. At least it does make me want to fall in love. And it's just the way that she paints just her emotions into the song is it's completely beautiful. The music video is absolutely stunning. That's one thing with this era. She has been killing it with the music videos. And even though Lover is not the most radio friendly song, it does serve its purpose, and at least for the fans, we appreciate. Then we have The Man. So this track, again, another more of the radio friendly songs. This one needs to be a single as well. I think The Man and Cruel Summer are two high contenders to become the fourth single for Lover. But summer has already passed, so I feel like she might pick The Man. We'll see. This one's more of the popular songs that she has kind of there for this album, and I like the message for it. Like, she does get a lot of flack for whatever she says, and I feel like if she was a man, she would not get so much criticism. And I love this song. It's really catchy. It's like a mix of 1989 and Reputation. I love that song. Then we have The Archer. I think this one's a very experimental and interesting song. Um, and just it kind of goes more on the vibe with what Lover sounds like. It's not completely, because I feel like it's just so I feel like The Archer's just so magical. It's just I don't know. I feel like I it's not the type of song that I would put on my car. But if I were to be laying in bed and trying to relax, then The Archer will come on. Beautiful lyrics as well. I think He Knows picks up the beat a bit. Um, I like it, but it's not one of the standout songs for me. When it comes on the shuffle, I do leave it there, but it's not the one I would necessarily get down to. But it's a cute track. Then we got Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. Another one of my faves. Just the overall vibe in the story that she tells and throughout the song. Um, she's just great at painting images, at least in my head, of just how either a music video or just a story. And this song is just extremely catchy, but so mysterious at the same time. I don't know. Like, that's just the vibe that it gives me. Um, and I hope that she picks this as one of the singles. I'm really curious of how she would make a music video for it. But it's definitely one of the standouts for me. Then we got Paper Rings. This one's another kind of I would say standout tracks from this, because it's I think what gives Lover the edge, that it's not a Reputation uh 2.0 day version. I think this song stands on its own, and I feel like it just belongs in this era and not in any other era at all. It's very upbeat. It's something I've never really heard her put out before. And it just kind of gives life to this album, because I would say like Miss Americana, The Man, And like Cruel Summer definitely fit more, on her Reputation vibes. And then Lover and The Archer, kind of go along with more of her, early stuff. And I think that Paper Rings just gives this album like something more new that we haven't heard from her before, and that's what kind of makes Lover, in my opinion. Then we got Cornelia Street, again, catchy song. I wouldn't say it's one of the standout for me, but I do wonder who it is about. Then we got Death by a Thousand Cuts. This one's another standout. I really, really like this song. Just, yeah. Then we got London Boy. So for London Boy, this one's a really kind of special song for me because I did get to travel to London this year, and I relate to this song because she does mention a lot of things a lot of places where I got to go when I was in London. So it just made it even more kind of just personal, at least in my end. Like I was like, oh, like I was there, I got to go there, and I fell in love with London, and I'm pretty sure she's in love with London for sure, 'cause we all know why. But I just love this song. It's really catchy, it's really upbeat. I don't know if it will be made as like if she would select this song as one of the singles, but it is one of my favorite songs on Lover. Not only is it catchy, but it's just a song that like I can just personally relate to because of how I got to be in London for an entire month, and every time I listen to this song, it just brings me a lot of flashbacks and happy memories. So she does a good job at kind of like introducing London for those who don't know. Um, soon you'll get better. A very personal track from her. If you don't know, this is a song about her, her mother, and she survived cancer, and I feel like anyone just can relate to this song, and it's really emotional. You can really hear it in her voice. And I try not to listen to the song that much because of how emotional it is, but I just think it's completely beautiful. It's definitely puts a lot of things into perspective, and yeah. Then we have False God. This is one of the songs I don't necessarily pay too much attention to, and I would say one thing for this album is that some of the songs do sound a little similar, because some of them are really short, and they seem like they're continuation of like another song. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like they all belong in like the same track or something. Um, Again, it's not a bad song. I really like it, but I don't vividly like remember hearing the song ex- down to like a T. Then we have You Need to Calm Down, which is the second single for Lover. So interesting story with this one. I was really excited when it was announced that she was going to release a second single. So when I first heard it, I wasn't completely in love with it. I'll be honest. I just did not see why she picked the song as the second single. And I was just a little kind of nervous to see how this arrow is gonna kind of going to unfold. But I don't know what I was thinking. With time, I grew to completely love this song. And I just love the message for it. Like overall, again, this one feels more like this is what gives Lover kind of its blood, in my opinion. It's the fact that she did say like this album is gonna be more political, more this and this and that, and honestly, like I think that's fine. She can get political. That's her own decision, and I'm glad that she's able to be a little bit more outspoken. I don't know how restricted she was with Big Machine, but she definitely seems like she's a little bit more on the I don't know, more herself in this era in a way. I feel like she played it a little bit more friendly to um the public when she was under the other label. I don't know if she was just kind of like, like told like, hey, you can't say this and you can't say that, and I don't know, but I feel like in this era she can say whatever she wants, whatever she feels, and she's definitely more outspoken on anything that she is passionate about. And even if you agree or disagree with her, I think she does it in a really respectful manner. And yeah, I'm really proud of her. The music video is absolutely fantastic. I love the fact that she kind of just um, says, all these people are putting words in my mouth, but here's the truth, and here's what I think. This is, but I don't think it's right to be mistreating people for this and this and that. So absolutely love it. I love when the intro to the song, the music video is really fun, and then she has all the drag queens dressed as like Lady Gaga, Adele, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Ariana Grande, Katy Perry. Also, she's also in the music video. And then Beyonce, if I didn't mention her already. Um, but yeah, I love how she just kind of, puts a lot of things to rest, and, tells people, calm down. And yeah, so I love this song. It's really catchy. It's just when you first hear it, and I think especially without a visual, because that's how I heard it, because I didn't even watch like the lyric video or anything. I just heard it on Spotify when it came out. Like, it didn't do much for me, but over time, like, I grew to absolutely love this song. I love the message for it. Definitely goes down in one of the best songs on Lover. Then it's Afterglow again, on one of my favorite songs in this album. This is just the song kind of just puts a lot of things into perspective. A lot of people give opinions regarding, she's always like blaming others for this and that. And then in this one, she just, admits that she does do wrong like anyone else. And I just love the vibe of this song. I hope it becomes a single. It's just, absolutely love this song. Um, Her voice on it, fantastic. Um, it's just so interesting to me. Like, I just love that song. Then we have Me. So this one, I like this song. I feel like a lot of people just really try to drag it down, saying that, it's too like bubblegum or too kid like. But honestly, I feel like this was the perfect song to pick for Lover, because it gives it an edge. Me sounds nothing like any of the other songs on here. Again, it gives it more life and blood on into Lover, like making it its own kind of record, not like a 2.0 of something. Because this could have been a 2.0 of 1989. Um, and because of how similar it sounds to Reputation, and I would say 1989 is more of a, bright rather than dark like Reputation. But I think that Me definitely gives it its own color. And I love the fact that Brendan was able to feature on this song. The music video, oh my goodness, I think it's up there with my favorite music videos from Taylor Swift. I love that rain umbrella scene that she has. It's just visually stunning. Like, um, probably, if not the best music video of the year. Um, it's just, in terms of just visuals, I just think it's absolutely, I don't know, like you watch it and you just never get bored of watching it. Um, yeah, and it's just an upbeat song. Like if you want to kind of have more of a positive, start of your day, I feel like this is the perfect song. And it just kind of says like, um, you know, self-love, I absolutely love it. And the visuals for it just gives this album its own life. Yeah. So It's Nice to Have a Friend is probably one of the, I would say, the underrated songs in here. It's not one of my favorites, but I do appreciate its musical, um, uh, how would I put it? Like, essence. It's different from everything on here, but again, it gives the album that edge that it needs to be something different. And she just experiments a lot. I like the fact that she experimented. So, interesting song to listen. It's not one I would definitely just say like, hey, I want to listen to. It's nice to have a friend. Like, not necessarily, but if it comes on and I'm listening to this whole thing, then it stays. But I would say it's not the radio friendly track. Like, I doubt that it will be a single. Then we end things with Daylight. So this song, definitely the perfect ending for it. And like I've been repeating a bunch of times because, I've saw interviews from her kind of talking about this album. She almost called it Daylight. I can definitely see why. This album is definitely more of a daytime type of um, album. And it's definitely a perfect ending to this whole um, extreme emotions that she just sings about throughout this whole album. She also references a lot of her old songs on here. That's one thing I didn't mention. And she does also mention it on Daylight, where she mentions Red, and she says like, I thought I thought loving. She did. How does it go? I thought love would be burning red, but it's golden, or something like that. And I just love the fact that she just, you know, references that song, because I love red. And it just shows that she's maturing a lot, and you can see where she is at now. And it's just a really nice tune to kind of listen to, especially when you listen to this thing as a whole. Um, it's more, slow paced, but it's so nice to listen to, and a lot of it, like, I love the echoes for it. It's just really, really nice song to kind of end the album. Then here we get like voice memos for Forgot You Existed and Lover. So they're not necessarily new tracks, but she did give us 18 songs. Wait, no. Yeah, she did give us 18 songs. That's a lot. And that's just a standard. So, um, you know, the girl really put a lot of hard work into releasing this album. And she definitely told a story of where she is at now. Um, and yeah, so what would I say? How would I explain just the overall experience of Lover? I would just, even though it's kind of like, I guess, cliche and a little bit obvious, but it's just like more, it makes you feel like you are in like a wonderland in a way, and just kind of with candy and all of that. And I loved that the imagery that she puts out in the music videos and in the photo shoots that she did for the promotion for this, and even on the red carpets and all her outfits. really do represent this whole era. Like she has been like, I think she obviously does it on purpose. Like everything regarding this era is down. It's just so detailed, and you can definitely see. And I appreciate the hard work she puts into just having that whole experience. At least as a fan, you know, I appreciate it. And yes, would I say this is my favorite Taylor album? No. Do I like the fact that she experimented a lot in this album? Yes. She has crafted down to perfection of what a hit sounds like, especially for her, because um, she she perfected it with 1989, and then she has those type of songs on Reputation that she didn't release as singles. That album needed more singles. And I know that she didn't really necessarily promote it that much. uh but for this one, it just shows a bit of an evolution, but at least a connection to Reputation, which I do appreciate, that she just didn't abandon, her new style of, her pop sound, because you know that, at least on my end, she has this distinctive pop sound that she kind of birthed with 1989, and then that continues on with Reputation, and it continues on here, but not as as much as, the previous two, because she didn't work with Max Martin and Ilya, and all of those producers that she had for Red and 1989 and for Reputation. So she definitely did not want to, repeat the same formula. And that says a lot about her, that she just wants to kind of constantly evolve and not every album sounding the same. So I do appreciate that. I hope that she picks the right singles for this album, just to kind of give it more of like attention. Like I feel like a lot of people, even though she did sell a bunch, I feel like in general people don't know what is really in here, like in terms of like as a whole body of work. So yes, I'm really excited to see the future music videos that she has for Lover, because I've just been in awe with everything that she puts out. Especially, it's just, I love her. Um, and yes, so I might do I'll try to do an unboxing for my other Reputation box thing, and then maybe do an updated ranking for the albums all together, including now Lover, and I'll try to re-listen to all of this albums to kind of pinpoint what which ones win, which ones are not as high as the other ones. But very proud of her. And yes, I cannot wait to hear, a new album, and I know that